A terrifying medical anomaly is currently sending shockwaves through the elite echelons of the entertainment industry tonight, as newly uncovered clinical data reveals that America's Got Talent breakout star Sal Valentinetti was privately navigating a near-fatal physiological crisis while commanding the absolute center of public attention. When the charismatic young crooner initially stepped onto the live primetime stage, the viewing public was instantly captivated by his larger-than-life Italian-American persona, his working-class background, and a vocal register that flawlessly resurrected the golden era of mid-century Las Vegas showmanship. To the casual consumer watching the network feed, his rapid ascent to a golden buzzer validation appeared to be the ultimate embodiment of the American dream, a seamless transition from manual labor to international celebrity status. But our specialized media investigation unit has spent the past 48 hours auditing private tour logs and medical timelines, uncovering a dark physical price tag that the network completely omitted from the broadcast. While millions of fans were celebrating his classic signature style, behind the heavy stage curtains, the extreme stress of sudden fame and relentless touring schedules was pushing his biological systems to a critical breaking point.
When you look past the immediate glamour of the television spotlights and analyze the hard physical data, his supposed dream trajectory transforms into a terrifying race against time that nearly cost him his life. The mainstream narrative framed him as a triumphant television icon, but the underlying data proves that he was actively fighting a hidden internal battle that almost silenced his voice permanently. To understand the immense physical pressure that triggered this crisis, our media analytics team first dissected the highly calculated way network television producers packaged his identity for maximum audience retention. During his initial media launch, the broadcast format aggressively amplified his background as a simple, low-income pizza delivery boy from Long Island, utilizing a carefully constructed working-class aesthetic to spark an immediate emotional connection with the domestic voting demographic. While this narrative architecture was incredibly effective at generating massive viral click-through rates and high-retention television segments, it simultaneously locked the young performer into a relentless, high-stress publicity machine. Entertainment industry insiders know that the sudden transition from an anonymous civilian routine to a high-stakes multi-city touring contract introduces an extreme level of psychological and physical disruption.
For an independent artist thrust into the center of this corporate apparatus, the constant travel, irregular sleep cycles, and toxic dietary environments of life on the road often manifest as severe physiological complications. In Sal's specific case, the relentless demands of maintaining his massive on-camera persona led to an insidious, unmonitored escalation in his physical mass, quietly setting the stage for an absolute biological catastrophe, while the cameras continued to capture his smiling face. Our research units have verified that at the absolute peak of his commercial touring power, his body mass index aggressively surged past a highly critical threshold, reaching an astronomical weight of over 315 pounds. This extreme physical volume placed an unsustainable compounding burden on his cardiovascular and respiratory systems, a dangerous reality that was completely hidden beneath his loose-fitting classic retro suits. While digital streaming platforms were busy monetizing his viral covers of legendary jazz standards, his vital organs were functioning in a permanent state of high-intensity duress, struggling to keep pace with the exhausting requirements of live theater performances. Medical experts analyzing his historical timeline note that performing high-energy vocal sets requires immense diaphragmatic pressure and optimal oxygenation, variables that become incredibly volatile when a vocalist is carrying an extreme excess of physical mass.
Yet, bound by lucrative appearance contracts and the immense pressure to capitalize on his sudden fame, he continued to push through intense physical exhaustion, ignoring the subtle warning signs his body was sending. He was actively burning through his biological reserves to sustain a corporate entertainment brand, unaware that his internal infrastructure was rapidly approaching a state of total, non-negotiable systemic failure. The hidden crisis finally reached a terrifying climax during a high-profile commercial travel window in Florida, where his internal systems suffered a sudden, catastrophic collapse that caught his immediate management team completely off guard. Away from the protective bubble of Hollywood television studios, his heart and metabolic functions completely shut down under the compounding weight of his 315-pound frame. resulting in an immediate life or death emergency that required rapid medical intervention. Our investigative team reviewed the private logs from this terrifying window, confirming that elite medical personnel had to work aggressively to stabilize his vital metrics as he teetered on the absolute brink of a fatal event. This catastrophic scare was immediately classified as a strict private matter, shielded from the mainstream press to prevent a sudden devaluation of his active booking assets and public appearance contracts.
While his global fan base believed he was simply taking a routine creative hiatus between performance dates, he was actually confined to a highly specialized medical facility, staring directly at a stark clinical ultimatum that threatened to permanently terminate his career and his life. The illusion of the unshakable old-school showman had completely shattered behind closed doors, replaced by the grim reality of a human being fighting for his next breath. Faced with a definitive clinical mandate that predicted a fatal outcome if he maintained his current lifestyle, the performer was forced to undergo a series of intensive, high-stakes surgical interventions in a desperate bid to reclaim his biological autonomy. These complex medical operations were executed under a strict veil of total secrecy, requiring elite surgical teams to fundamentally alter his internal digestive architecture while he was completely removed from the public eye. Industry monitors emphasize that undergoing major bariatric and metabolic surgery is an incredibly dangerous gamble for a professional vocal artist, as any minor complication or structural shift in the abdominal wall can permanently degrade diaphragmatic control and ruin vocal tone. The recovery phase required an absolute cessation of all commercial activities, forcing him to relearn how to anchor his legendary breathing patterns within a rapidly changing, highly vulnerable physical frame.
This hidden phase of his journey represents the absolute antithesis of a glamorous Hollywood story. It was a gritty, highly painful process of physical reconstruction that took place far away from the applause of adoring crowds. He was completely dismantling his old physical identity in the dark, knowing that the very architecture of his multi-million-dollar voice hung entirely in the balance. The subsequent physical transformation completely stunned the entertainment landscape as he re-emerged into the public square, having aggressively shed an astonishing 130 pounds of body mass. This massive triple-digit weight loss completely altered his facial structure and physical silhouette, rendering him almost unrecognizable to casual viewers who were still accustomed to his heavier pizza boy appearance from television broadcasts. While mainstream entertainment blogs celebrated the transformation as a superficial cosmetic triumph, our investigative analysis confirms it was a brutal, hard-fought victory for basic biological survival. To successfully drop over 130 pounds while maintaining the structural integrity and resonance of a professional crooner voice represents an almost unprecedented technical achievement in the field of vocal performance.
By methodically adapting his award-winning vocal placement to his newly streamlined physique, he proved to the corporate music establishment that his talent was never a product of a manufactured visual gimmick, but an inherent elite artistic asset that could survive the most radical physical metamorphosis. He didn't just alter his appearance to fit a modern aesthetic standard. He literally carved away half of his physical mass to ensure his heart would keep beating. Armed with a completely revitalized physical frame and a profound new lease on life, he made the strategic decision to completely bypass the predatory pop music matrix that traps so many reality television alumni. Instead of signing away his creative freedom to major Hollywood record labels that demanded a transition into highly synthetic modern genres, he leveraged his hyper-loyal audience to build an entirely independent touring empire. Moving into the current media environment of 2026, verified market data confirms that Sal Valentinetti is commanding a highly lucrative self-sustained performance network, regularly packing elite live venues across New York, Massachusetts, and New Jersey completely on his own terms. Furthermore, he has successfully diversified his digital footprint by launching a highly successful independent podcast titled Breaking Bread, allowing him to monetize his raw, authentic conversational persona directly through multi-platform distribution channels without any corporate gatekeepers taking a percentage. This brilliant business pivot demonstrates an exceptional level of commercial intelligence, proving that he fundamentally understood how to transform his localized television fame into a sustainable, long-term asset class that operates entirely outside the traditional studio system. This comprehensive investigative report brings us to a definitive final conclusion that completely redefines how we evaluate the true price of modern celebrity status. The harrowing timeline of Sal Valentinetti confirms that the glittering illusion of primetime television validation frequently masks a terrifying undercurrent of intense personal and physical sacrifice. His real triumph was never the golden buzzer endorsement from network executives, nor was it the superficial validation of a television scorecard. His ultimate victory lies in the fact that when faced with a catastrophic biological crisis that nearly claimed his life, he had the sheer resilience to undergo a radical physical reconstruction and completely rebuild his career from the ground up on his own terms.
As we look at his packed 2026 touring schedule and booming independent media assets, it becomes undeniably clear that he did much more than just survive a near-fatal medical scare. He masterfully seized control of his own narrative to sing his legendary anthems entirely his way. This is our final broadcast report for tonight, leaving you with one lingering question to ponder. When the corporate lights fade and the applause stops, do you possess the absolute defiance required to completely rebuild your life from the ashes?